This brief rhetorical grammar lesson is about creating emphasis in your sentences. You can use the order of words or phrases in your sentences to emphasize importance. People tend to remember information that they hear last. Psychologists call this the law of recency. So when you write, you want to identify the most important ideas in your sentences and move those ideas to the end. Let's talk through some examples. Which of the following statements seems like a stronger endorsement of the film? My friend Sam commented, "The movie Captain America is thrilling." Or, "The movie Captain America is thrilling," my friend Sam commented. It all depends on who your friend Sam is. If he's a famous movie reviewer, then the second example, where your emphasis is on Sam's endorsement, is the sentence that you want. If Sam is just this guy, just some random guy who watches movies, then you want the first version, which emphasizes that the movie is thrilling. Okay, here's another one. Version 1. I believe both these applicants are superb, even though it's hard to find good assistants these days. So this is what this sentence makes me think of. It's hard to find good assistants nowadays, and the reason for that is that is where the sentence ends. Versus, even though it's hard to find good assistants these days or nowadays, I believe both these applicants are superb. So ending with that, you're emphasizing the fact that both of the applicants are superb. Here's a much more technical example. An increase in glucose intolerance in people over 65, as well as people with a high body mass index, is a common assumption in diabetes research. Okay, so it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on there. It's a little bit unclear, in part because there's two things: increase in glucose intolerance, and then people having a high body mass index, and then you have a singular verb, is. So that's a little bit confusing, and then it's a question of whether or not we're emphasizing diabetes research or if we're trying to emphasize glucose intolerance and high body mass index. So the second one works a little bit better. I think it's clearer. A common assumption in diabetes research is that glucose intolerance increases in people over 65, as well as in people with a high body mass index. So here we're highlighting over 65 and with a high body mass index, right? And that's what we want to do. Okay, so next week I'm going to ask you to take a look at your own research proposal as well as two of your research group members' proposals. And I'm going to want you to examine the content of your proposal, but also to take a look at Adam for this particular rhetorical grammatical principle in your writing and in your classmates' writing. So how can you add emphasis to your sentences? By moving the most important information in each sentence back to the end